Hi, it's Mike Ames here, and in this video blog I'm going to talk about voicemail messages, particularly how to get more people to ring you back after you've left a voicemail message. Now this sprang to mind because, I've got to tell you a little story now actually. Sprang to mind because a wee while ago I just left a voicemail for someone to ring me back. And this is the second time we've shot this video, because about halfway through the phone went and it was him ringing me back. I kid you not. We were going to leave it in, but I had to make the call and it looked a bit weird really, but there you go. So obviously it works. Now, this technique was taught to me some years ago when I was a young salesperson, and quite frankly, I was a bit, well, not suspicious, that's the wrong word really. I wasn't sure that it was going to work, but it did. It worked for me. So it's technique made up of 5 components. I'm going to go through all of those components, but before I do that, let me just explore how people use voicemails, because that's important to understand that, so we know what we've got to do to kind of combat the problem. Two ways that people use it. Firstly, they tend to use it as a kind of almost a defense mechanism, really.
Like when you want to arrange sales training with someone who doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. She just said, I don't know whether you could hear that, but she said, like when you're kind of trying to arrange sales training and someone doesn't want to do it. Yeah, that's you, lawyers out there. I know it is. But yeah, if there's a call message left and you don't think it's your benefit, or you don't want to get involved in that, you won't call them back, really, and I know that. The second reason that people use voicemails is almost like a PA, really. So you ring in, leave a message, they then decide whether they call you back and speak to you or not. So what we have to do is think of both of those scenarios. Now, do you know what? I think there's a big problem as well. People just can't be asked. You know, it's too much trouble. So we've got to deal with all of those problems. So made up of 5 bits. First bit is to introduce yourself. Now, 3 levels, very simple. There's the first level where they know who you are and quite familiar with this. So, hi, it's Mike here, would be the opening. Second level is where they know you but not that well. Hi, it's Mike Ames here. Okay, no need to say any more than that. Third level where they don't really know you at all. Hi, it's Mike Ames here from Flair Business Growth Consultancy. See, the whole shebang. First step. Second step, which is optional, is when you make it clear who the message is for. Now, if the voicemail has the name in it, hi, you've reached the voicemail of John Smith, you don't need to do the second bit. If it's anything other than that, then you do need to. This is a message for John Smith. For starters, it will focus their attention because you've used their name. But secondly, if you have got the wrong number, then it kind of sorts that out. Okay, it's optional. Third thing is, and this is one of the things I really like actually, I think it has the biggest effect, is to make it clear, pre-warn them, in fact, that you're going to be leaving a telephone number at the end of the message. So I typically say, if you've got a pen and paper to hand, I'm going to be leaving my name and number at the end of this message, so it might be quite useful to jot that down. Excuse me. So, and I think that makes the biggest effect. So try different things, and that's quite useful really, because they're not scrubbing around for something, they can just write the number down. Fourth thing is you leave the message. Now, I don't have the time in this blog to talk about all the different formats of message, because it depends what you're trying to achieve, how well you know the person, how likely they are to want what you have and therefore ring you back, a whole bunch of stuff. But I will say this, if you're ringing someone that doesn't know you terribly well, or if you're ringing someone and it's more in your interests that they ring you back rather than their interests, then the format to use is to tell them something which is interesting or alluring, but miss something out. So they feel obliged to ring back. And I think that's quite important when you do that. So I might say, oh, I was asked to ring you by Fred Bloggs, and he said that you were really interested in this subject. And so am I, and I noticed on your website you've written about this, this and this, and we've got this piece of research that actually corresponds very well to something you've already written, and I'm delighted to kind of send you that and swap some other ideas and thoughts about that. So if you've got a chance to give me a ring, please, blah, 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 blah. So try and leave something out. And then the last section, which again is quite powerful, the 5th section, is where you leave your telephone number. Now, the big mistake that most people make, the bear trap they fall into, is they give the message too quickly. Sometimes they give it too quickly twice. It doesn't help, right? So what you have to do is you have to say the telephone number, at the same pace as you would write it down. In my mind, I actually visualize writing it down. So I would say, and again, if they don't know you very well, leave your name again. So it's Mike Ames, and that number is 07879 818 371. See that? And then I'd say it again, probably quicker this time, so they can check what they've written. So that's 07879 818 371. And I'll hopefully speak to you real soon, or whatever you end with. So there you have it. Why don't you try this? It doesn't take much, there's no special training, just to see if it works. You know, introduce yourself in the way that I've said, make it plain who the message is for. Tell them that you're going to be giving them a number at the end. They can prepare for that. Give them a message which is kind of not everything at once, so they don't need to ring you back. Hold a little bit back. And then finally, say the telephone number at the pace that they can write it down and see what happens with that. Okay, look, I'm going to go now because I'm hopeful that that number's going to be ringing in again. Except they already did. How cool was that? So I'll see you real soon. As we say in Flair, if you want it, you go and get it now. Take care.